So, as I said in the last tutorial, I was going to show you a better way of controlling the color of these objects. Previous tutorial, I just showed you how you could select an object on the page like that and click to change the color. Really, really simple, and I'm sure you don't need too much practice with that. What I'm going to do now is show you the panel where you can actually be more accurate with changing the colors in there. And that panel lives up here. And if you just hover over it, it said edit objects, colors, etc. So if I click that, it opens up a panel. Okay, in this panel you can control quite a few bits and pieces about this object. Just as a recap, I'm going to zoom in on this, and the method I'm going to use is control and the scroll wheel, and I'm just going to zoom in so we can have a good look at this particular object. So he's on the page there, and what I'm going to do is show you how I can use this thing. Now, each object is broken up into a fill, which is the inside bit, and a stroke, which is the outside bit. Okay, and over here you've got a panel that says fill, stroke, and style. Okay, so the fill deals with inside bit, and you've got a slider that you can alter to get the shape's color. Some people find this a little bit difficult to use, and one of the most easy ones I think is this wheel one. So if I click on the wheel, the way the wheel works is it's broken up into two sections. You've got that line there, and I can move that line to any color that I want there, and that looks pretty cool. And once I've got that, I can also get this little dot, this tiny wee dot there, and you can see that dot moving around is going to alter the shade of the color. So we've got green, we've got bright green, light green, dark green. Okay, so that's probably one of the easiest ones that I know to work with. So I'm just going to push that right around here, and you can see how that changes. We'll go to a sort of purpley color and push that up like that. So that's dealing with the fill of an object. Now, if you wanted to deal with this line around the outside, that's called the stroke. So in order to deal with that, you click on the stroke one, and you get the same sort of scenario here with the sliders. And just so as you know, I'll just push the sliders around, and you can see that you can make up any color that you like with that. It's just a little bit more difficult because you've got to know what colors make what. So I'll go to the wheel, and that's entirely up to you. You'll work out the way that suits you best. And I'll go for a sort of contrasting blue color there, and I'll move the little dot in the middle to make it a sort of bright blue. So that's good. And then the final one over here is the style of stroke. Okay, so if I click on that, that allows us to look at the width of it. So at the moment this is a 1 pixel width. If I click the little arrows at the top there, it's going to thicken it up, or I could just type in a number, say 3, and go enter, and you can see what happens. So that's your stroke and your fill and the style. We'll talk about these things a bit later on, but you've also got little things in here like little dashes and dashes and things like that, which can make your stuff look quite neat. So once you know roughly how to do it, it's good to have an explore. So I'm just going to scroll out, and this time I'm going to hold down Control and my scroll wheel. I'll select this object over here. I'm going to pan over to that object by pressing my scroll wheel down and dragging across, and I'll scroll in to this one. So that's Control and the scroll wheel. So I've got that. Select it on the page using my select tool. Go to fill and flat color, and I'll make that green now. So that's dealing with the fill. Click on the stroke, make that a different color there. Go for a bluey color this time, like that. And the style of that, I'm going to thicken that up. I'll make that 5 and enter, and that's cool. I'm going to zoom out a wee bit. Now here's a recap. Get back to the page, click on this little icon, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this one over there, and this is how you sort of make up little graphics. I'll zoom in on that, Control and the scroll wheel, pan down, Control and drag, and I'll move that in there, and I might even just make that a little bit smaller, holding down Control, and there we go. So we're making some graphics, and we're using this to change it. So for example, now if I want to change the stroke to a different color, I'll go into stroke paint, and I'll choose another color, something that's going to sort of match in nicely. There we go, nice sort of blue color. Doesn't look very good, so I better get something else. Yellow, that looks good. Happy with that. Have a go at that.